the fandom menace isn't just angry males. It's Toxic Femininity, brought to you by Midnight's Edge After Dark.
Hello again. It's Tuesday. It's Rose Tico Tuesday. Mary, the mistress of mayhem, with us. We've got Megs. We got Miss Sarcastic here. I almost called her Sartastic. Like fantastic.
Oh.
When you're right, though. When you're right, you're right.
Yeah, man, I'm right. She's both fantastic and sarcastic. Anyway, we also have another lady joining us later. That would be Miss Candace. So she will join us as soon as she can. But before then, we'll yak away about some other stuff. We got some news for you. Obviously, the big Star Wars trailer came down. Before we do that, though, why don't you lovely ladies introduce yourself to our lovely audience? Let's start with you down there in the corner, Miss Sarcastic Nerd, with your lovely glasses today that you stole from your mother.
Hi, guys. I'm a Sarcastic Nerd, but you can call me Miss. I stole these from my brother.
How is that for Toxic Femininity right there? She stole those from her brother.
It's mine now, bitch.
I have a channel if you want to check it out. I recently did my own trailer reaction to The Rise of Skywalker.
Which Mary loves, and I haven't got a chance to see it, so I don't even know what she's laughing about. So
Very good.
You want to go check that out?
So do check out Mrs. channel, yes?
Yeah.
Go now.
Do it. Do it now.
Did you have something else to add, Miss?
I have a Twitter if you want to go there as well. I feel like
Twitter as well. There you go. See, I put my Twitter now. I got smart. I put it right in the handle there.
yeah, I'm not smart. These glasses are here to fool you.
Oh, like Clark Kent. Okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Megs, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? Mind blown, right, Mary? Yeah.
Yep. I'm Megs, and I do the Meg Show and also the Jolly and Meg Show. And I just do reviews and stuff on shows and movies, and I like to be here with you guys and doing this and doing reviews. I just like to give my opinion pretty much. And that's about it. Yeah.
That's pretty much why we're here, right, Mary?
Essentially, like, if you didn't want the toxic femininity, go elsewhere, because this is what we got for you.
Yeah. So. Come steal your glasses, bitch. All right, Mary, tell them a little bit about this. Oh, you see, you got glasses too. Did you steal those from your brother?
No, I bought these fair and square. I'm a strong, independent woman who can buy her own shit. Thank you very much. Well, hi guys, I am Mary B. I am the mistress of mayhem, disruptor of the narrative, and official Whammon card holder. You can find me over on my channel, Mary Mayhem, where I talk about newsy news stuff during the week, and on the weekend I talk about, fun stuff. We have a lot of fun placing shenanigans. I just threw my card. So yeah, come check me out. Thank you to our wonderful moderator, Mox Rocks, in the chat, throwing them links up. Hopefully, Candace will be joining us soon, just so we don't forget to plug her channel. She will also be here tonight. So she's Geeky Candy here on YouTube, and you guys should go check her out because she is a wonderful mind. She has a wonderful mind, sharp as a tack. Can't wait to see how she does tonight. So I'm going to roll over my freaking
trailer reaction as well.
I'm going to roll over my card, destroy it. I need to mail her a Whammon card. Remind me to do that later.
You sent me one, but I never printed it out.
Before we get rolling, we
got it certified.
No, gee.
What were you saying, Miss? Go ahead.
Nothing.
No, go ahead.
I said I never printed it out, and then I corrected myself that I never got it certified.
You got to get that certified, do you?
Yeah.
I certified it before I sent it. I don't know what more you want.
Oh, okay.
About like lamination or
no, I put Whammon on there, therefore it's
I mean, I gotta imagine that's like holy water. You order that shit online, you gotta expect it to be, blessed before you get it.
Yeah. I gotta bless it yourself.
I handled that business. I handled it. I spit on it. I don't know what more you want.
Yeah.
You like
it. She licked it, and if she licked it, that means she owns it, right? There you go. Yeah. And she gave it to you, so that means that's something special. So you should cherish that for the rest of your life. And it's just like this $1 I'm going to cherish from Matt G. Thank you so much, Matt G, for kicking off the super chats, which we do love so much here because they do keep the lights on and everything running because Lord knows YouTube don't pay us jack squat. right, ladies?
Oh man, and it's even worse for us women because we get 70%.
Yeah. Well, we get that too, but yeah. Well, we'll get onto that. You got a story that goes along with it, so that's a little bit of a joke. This was a special super chat. This one's aimed at me. $2 from Sister Harrow. If Tom uses the avatar with the girly wig, well, since you already paid for it, I guess.
I mean, Tom, who am I to judge you and your habits? What the f- is that?
No, but I'm transphobic, I guess. That was what I was told last night.
I had a beard.
Tom, take it away, please. Holy
I
cow.
got to leave it up for at least her $2 worth. But yeah, I'm so transphobic. I've even dressed in drag for,
Jesus.
charity. But anyway, that's a long story. I'm not getting into. Ladies. What do you got for me tonight? What are we talking about? What do you got first on the table here?
Well, I have a funny little article for you if you want to share that, and I'll give it a read.
Real quick, we got Rosetta Allen. She says $2 from Rosetta. I love these girls. Someday I got to join them. Yes, we'll have to have you on here very soon. That's kind of what the whole shindig's about, is getting to know the other ladies of the Fandom Menace, along with the ladies of the Fandom Menace, talking all the smack they can talk. Right. Here we go. They can talk. Guys. That's right. The Salt has a story for us. For Miss, she's going to walk us through here. Ooh,
yes. See this lovely, lovely pizza maker right there. In male-dominated pizza circles, women are grabbing a bigger slice of the pie. I love that. I want that on a t-shirt. When Laura Meyer won the World Pizza Championship for Pan Pizza in Parma, Italy, the Italian judges called her the male word for champion. Okay. Despite her first place victory, she was the only winner who didn't get a trophy that day. Hers was mailed a year later. Well, that's just a horrible plan. They refused to acknowledge that a woman had won, she said recently, recalling the snub. She was the first woman to win and the first American. That was in 2013. The next year, competing as the only woman, she won the best non-traditional pizza at the International Pizza Expo in Las Vegas with a triple infused rosemary I don't care. And last month, Meyer's Simple Pepperoni Pizza won the first American pizza division of the Caputo Cup, a pizza making contest in Naples, Italy, the birthplace of modern pizza, and placed third for traditional pizza at a September contest in Atlantic City, New Jersey. New Jersey? I don't know. I thought pizza was invented in China. About that.
Shows you how much women actually care about pizza, because I don't know and I don't care. Like
Meyer is a pizza house. Anyway, you select it. But to many in and out of her profession, she's just a woman. Women have always been a part of pizza. I love that. I love that little catchphrase. Women have always been a part of pizza, but it's very
in the kitchen where we belong.
It has a macho problem, like most of the job world, she said from Tony's, the prestigious pizza parlor in San Francisco, where she is owner, Tony whatever, right hand, and runs its international school of pizza. Guys stare at my chest. They think I don't see. Guess what? I see. My very first day of work, a coworker just watched me do my job like I was a show, entertainment, and ooh la la toy. So many people think I could only be as high up as I am because I'm Tony's wife. I'm not his wife. I'm his talent. No. Broadly and frequently, male chauvinism is baked into pizza at every step, from the presumption that pizza deliverers are men to the... Okay, pizza deliverers? I don't care who delivers my pizza.
I do. I want it to be a nice and tight-looking, strapping young man in a Speedo, wearing nothing else. And I want him to come to the door with a nice, fresh, hot pie. And, like straight up, like, that's what I want. That's what I want to come. Or if I may interject, I would not necessarily mind a female coming to the door in a nice gold bikini. My preference.
You're not objectifying the man, you're objectifying the woman. The man has to. It's okay to do that.
True story real quick. My grandpa-in-law is a pizza deliverer. Grandpa-in-law. grandpa and mom.
Does he do it in a Speedo?
No, but he lives in Florida. So I mean,
So he's on meth the whole time.
I don't know. He's a veteran, so
So he's
it could be a
definitely.
day. I don't know. He could have a bad day. I don't know. But who knows? You know.
Okay.
But I just had to say that because he's a pizza deliverer. You know.
Presumption that pizza deliverers are men to the dearth of female pizza makers statues. Pizza making is a profession where men tell you that you belong in a kitchen, but not as a career, Meyer said. They celebrate grandma slices, but not the actual grandmas. She's trying to change that. Meyer is a star on a recent surge of prominent female pizza oli across the country. Sarah Minnick at Lovely's 50/50 in Portland, Oregon. Whatever the hell that says. I don't even. Norma Knapp in Pennsylvania, Amish country. Nancy Silverton at Osteria Mazza in Los Angeles. Okay, people, all these wonderful people. In New York, where a pizza slice is quintessential to local identity, Nicole Russell served pick-up only Last Dragon Pizza out of her home in Queens. The New York, you know what? I don't even care anymore. There's just these women. This lady says, as a black woman, I'm used to people underestimating me, she said. But I have a proven customer base and a following. I have a tourist from Texas who came to New York with my pizzas on their bucket list. We're not just those women over there. Women aren't just coming up in the pizza game. We're winning up in the pizza game. This is so funny. This is just damn hilarious.
Is this like a new kind of Pizzagate or what? This is crazy. Is this a real website? Is this like a thing, or is this like one of those fake websites and they did a really shitty job?
NPR?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I love this. I love this. It's Pizzagate, guys. Women, we want you in the kitchen. We just don't want you winning in the kitchen.
We want you in the kitchen, but not in our kitchen.
Right?
Money.
You don't get any of the toys. We want you to do it all by hand or whatever. And we don't want you winning in the kitchen. We want you like in there slicing everything by hand. And we're not going to send you your award. We're going to give it to you. Look, it was poor planning. Calm down. Jesus.
This is so funny. I love this because I can't take it seriously. I don't know what NPR is. I don't know what they usually do news about at all. But like this,
National
smile on
right?
that lady.
It's like the source of like a lot of the basic news stuff out there. I mean, they're pretty. I don't know. They're like, I don't know.
This is where we're at, though. People are losing their minds over pizza. This is the point we've gotten to now, guys. Everything is feminist. Everything is toxic. Everything is terrible. So now it's infiltrated pizza. We can't even just have a sliced pizza anymore without people losing their minds over something absolutely ridiculous. Why is it that we can't just, I don't know, go to the store, get a pie, call it handled? Why do we have to worry about feminism in pizza, for the love of Bob? This is stupid. This has gotten out of hand. If you're losing your mind over an award, then maybe you should, I don't know, like contact me, like, hey, send me my award, handle your business. Perhaps it's just possible that this was just an oversight on their part. You didn't get your award for a year. Oh my God, toxic masculinity, right? Like that's immediately where your mind went. That is immediately where your mind went. Not, hey, it got lost in the mail, or not, hey, someone dropped the ball, or not, hey, there's a dipshit working there. Freaking misogyny. That's where your mind went.
They're talking about the male-dominated job roles that they want women to fill, right? And like they're running out of things for them to fill because women don't want to be firefighters. Women don't want to be coal miners.
Exactly.
So let's put them back in the kitchen.
Work in lumber yards.
That is exactly what it is.
And women who do work in those places are respected.
Because they're doing a job that women don't usually want to do. That's the thing. That's why there isn't women in those jobs, because usually women don't want to do those jobs. That's the thing. It's not that, oh, well, they're not allowed to do those jobs. It's just typically women don't want to do those jobs.
Can I point out the irony and how hilarious it is that now women are crying because we want to be back in the kitchen?
Right.
I'm in the kitchen, but I don't want to be talked about how I'm in the kitchen because I don't belong there, but I want to be there.
Let me back in the kitchen, you misogynists!
How dare you?
Let me get back there.
Oh my god. This has gone full circle stupid at this point.
This guy has scavenged the earth for women bitching about their position in their careers, and all he got was fucking pizza. That's all he got. He couldn't get a coal miner or a woman who works in a lumberyard to bitch about how she's mistreated, because she isn't mistreated in a lumberyard or as a coal miner, because there's not many women in those roles, and when they're in there, like I said, they're not disrespected. Of course, you're going to be disrespected by chefs in a pizza place. They're assholes.
Yeah, exactly. Has anybody
are assholes?
Any restaurant, they're all assholes. Has anyone be waiting? Come on. That's exactly what a restaurant is like. Exactly. To the T. Like, really, though. It is.
Anytime you work in any kind of service industry like that, you're going to have people being dicks to each other, because like it sort of is this levity that you find within the workplace, right? Like everybody just sort of being dicks to one another. And I don't really know why they expect there to not be any measure of looking at one another anyway. If you have males and females in the same workplace, there's going to be interaction. There's going to be sexual chemistry. And I'm not justifying sexual harassment. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying don't lose your mind because when you bent over, a guy went booty. Okay, calm down. I'm not saying that you should be objectified. I'm just saying it's not the end of the world. You are opposite genders, and unless you swing the other way or both ways, it's just going to happen. So calm down. This is just part of it. And I'm not saying objectification is a good thing, or that this is okay for people to just sit there and harass or objectify one another. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that stop looking. If all you came up with was he looked at my boobs one time, calm down. It's going to happen. You have them. They're there. He's a guy. Exactly. It's how they function. Did he touch you? Did he touch you? No? Then shut up. Right. Shut up.
Dude, in high school, I used to look at my teachers all the time. I had this really hot government teacher that I would look at all the time. Like, seriously. So what is that?
I had a hot English teacher.
So, I mean, come on. Like, God, I hope you're 20, 30 years older than me. I mean, I was 16. I mean, what's it?
I think I saw 19K Fox in the chat a minute ago. I objectify him all day, every day.
Constantly.
That's my job, right? Like
to the point where it makes me nauseous. Yes.
Like seriously though, like come on, it's just ridiculous.
It's funny. This is them just clawing at scraps that they had for this whole issue with them trying to get women into male-dominated roles, and all they got is pizza. Fucking pizza.
I wrote Josiah in the chat. So Josiah says there's something not normal about a guy who doesn't look at a girl bending over and think booty. I freaking love
that. Like, come on. Like, even a girl's gonna do that. Like, if there's a booty, like, it's there.
Dude, I sit here waiting for Megs to bend over all day, every day.
Like, if it's there, it's there. Like, come on.
Calm down, everybody. It's just pizza.
It's just pizza.
It happened. You know?
All right. So do we think we have this one nailed down? Because I thought this was some great levity to start everything with.
I had fun.
I had fun.
I certainly had fun.
Well, I have a wonderful little article that we'll go ahead and move into here. If I can get it pulled up for you guys. I'm sure I have it here somewhere. Give me a second. If you want to share that for me, Tom, I would appreciate you. As soon as I find it, where the heck is it?
I got it. I'm on it. I did it.
There it is. All right. So, oh my gosh, guys. All the hilariousness. So Disney has got a class action lawsuit that's being filed against them. So this article comes to us from deadline.com. Disney, sorry ladies, your pay equity class action suit can't be a class action because figuring out the math would be hard. Whatever. So we're going to go ahead and get into this. 10 women across the Walt Disney Company claim that the Bob Iger run media giant doesn't pay women fairly and are challenging the House of Mouse in court in a proposed class action first launched this spring. However, while fine with fighting a ton of individual actions, Disney are now declaring that the potentially massive discrimination suit is just too unwieldy for the Burbank-based conglomerate to handle seriously. The Walt Disney Company described its plaintiff's complaint is not the Walt Disney Company that exists in fact and law. I'm not sure. There's like very little decent punctuation there, so it's hard to get out. Declares Disney in a memorandum accompanying their October 18th move to kneecap the class action. The Disney companies categorically deny.
Say proofread your shit deadline. That is all.
Proofread your just a little bit of punctuation would have been helpful here. So the Walt Disney Company described its plaintiff's complaint is not the Walt Disney Company that exists, in fact, in law. Disney declares in the memorandum accompanying their October 18th move to kneecap the class action, the Disney companies categorically deny that they pay any female employees less than her similarly situated male coworkers and will vigorously defend themselves against each plaintiff's individual claims. The LA Superior Court document adds dismissively, literally and figuratively, but that is all this case is, an assortment of individual claims based on highly individualized allegations. Or as Felicia Davis of Paul Hastings LLP and Disney's chief lawyer in the matter put it, unequivocally from her client's point of view, the parties do not need to litigate this case for 3 years to discover what is clear today. Plaintiffs' claims are not appropriate for class or representative treatment. Longtime Walt Disney Studios employees LaRonda Rasmussen and Karen Moore instigated the suit back on April 3rd in a move for back pay, lost benefits, and other compensation. They were joined by 8 other women on September 18th in an amended complaint that Disney now wants to see shredded. Just like the attorneys for the product development manager, the copyright administrator, and others expected. We anticipated Disney's attack on the complaint and are preparing our opposition, Lori Andrus of San Francisco firm Andrus Anderson LLP told Deadline Monday. Although Disney's legal team attempts to minimize the scope of the impact of the company's unfair pay practices, the experiences of Ms. Rasmussen and the other plaintiffs show that unequal pay is not limited to one division or one job level, the attorney stated. Disney is essentially arguing that it is too big to be held accountable, but no company should be permitted to evade equal pay laws just because it is large. So I'm not going to read the rest of this because it's incredibly long. But essentially, it goes on to sort of break down that Disney is doing their best to sort of get out of having to pay equal pay to their female employees, but Disney claims, look, we do pay our female employees equal to their counterparts, the males who work the same amount of hours, the males who work the same amount of time, the males who do the same type of job, right? That's what they're claiming. But I thought you was progressive, Disney. I thought you was all about that equality. 70% less than men. Let's not bother factoring in the fact that women take more time off of work than men. Women typically don't do the same amount or the same type of work as a man. Let's not factor in all of that stuff. You're progressive and you should be consistent and pay your female employees the same amount as you pay a male employee, regardless of whether or not they actually do the exact same job as the male employee for the exact same amount of time. So I just found this article really funny in that regard because they're so progressive and it's really fun to watch them grandstand until, of course, it affects their wallet. And then they're like, but they are equal. Go ahead.
No, you read it. It's for you.
For me? Hold on. $2 from Rosetta Allen. Rasmussen. I won't get into why I know. Ooh.
I always thought it was Rasmussen. But anyway, that is all.
Okay. Rasmussen. But yeah, girl.
Hashtag believe women, Disney. Jeez. The hell is this shit? Thought you were woke. Candy.
I want candy, and she appears.
Hello. Hello.
We really are twinsies now.
I like how it's on the top.
I didn't want to just interrupt your spiel here, but may I introduce myself since I just hopped on? Hey everyone, I'm Candace, aka Geeky Candy, the one bringing you the random sweet geeky content you want to see. And today I'm feeling especially toxic, ladies. So happy to be here.
I love it.
Thanks. Now, sorry to be late, but I have been listening and I am loving these articles so far. So continue.
she's being a toxic woman by doing what it is that women do from time to time and take care of the
Fashionably late, putting kids down. What can I say? The glamorous life, y'all. Woo!
No, I just think it's incredibly interesting that Disney's so incredibly inclined to be woke and stand on that woke platform. Oh, let's empower women. Let's make sure that we push this sort of strong woman thing out there as much as humanly possible until, of course, it affects their wallet, right? But then they're happy to acknowledge that things are essentially equal, right? That's when they're like, it is equal. We're doing things with equality, right? Like we pay them equal to the amount of hours. Like they have the same. They make the same amount of money per hour, right? But you've pushed the narrative that it's not equal, right? You've pushed that. You were happy to get behind that whole feminism aspect of, hey, women are only making 70 cents on the dollar, 76 cents on the dollar for what every man makes, even though you never bothered to step and look at the actual details of that. You're happy to push that feminism and woke aspect until, of course, you break it down and you actually look at it. Then it affects your wallet. Then you're a hypocrite, and this is why no one respects you anymore.
They deserve every bit of it.
Whatever happened to like people getting paid for like the job that they did, and like the best man or woman gets the job and they get paid according to the job that they do? Like
no, it's more about what's between your legs. So like, we're all whores.
Everyone wants everyone to be equal so damn bad. Why can't we just do that? And then you get paid according to the job that you do. Like that makes sense.
You know what they need to do? They need to turn the women against each other and be like, well, like the prettiest one makes more money than the other one, and have them just fight each other.
Well, I recently read an article where they were saying that men are getting afraid to work alone with women, especially attractive women, and hire women, especially attractive women. So maybe this whole thing's blowing up in you guys' face. Maybe just a little bit, you know.
So I have a weird take on this article, if I may. Okay, so I understand the pay issue. Like, I get it. Like, that is something they should not be doing, and they should be called out for it. However, the way that this article, like the headline reads, saying that they aren't able to do the class action lawsuit because figuring out the math would be hard. It's it's a slight against not the math. It's a slight against not understanding the legalities behind what a class action lawsuit really is. And unfortunately, with this style of individualized like complaints, and it is correct, they are individualized. They can all be discriminated against, but they do have to approach it individually because they are not the same. Like class action lawsuits that are typically successful are going to be the ones where everyone's taken a certain drug that turned out to be irresponsibly produced, and the FDA then found out about it and penalizes that company. So those are situations in which class action lawsuits would make sense. But in this particular one, I have to say the Disney the Disney lawyers on this case, when they were talking about it, albeit it sounded a little bit arrogant, they were correct in terms of what I understand class action lawsuits to be. So I do hope, though, that they gain some like media attention with the issue of the pay gap and continue with individual lawsuits against them. That's all I have to say about that.
I think it's really interesting and telling that Hollywood is happy to sort of stand behind Disney and all of its grandstanding until a moment comes where, let's point at this. Oh, Disney didn't do the wokest thing humanly possible, even though I don't see any issue with how. And look, I haven't delved super deep into each of the individual cases, but at the end of the day, if you're making the same hourly as your male counterpart, I don't think whether or not you worked the same amount of hours and all of that jazz is something that you should be pitching a fit over, right?
Right.
So it's interesting that the media is willing to come at Disney in this sort of cockeyed, sideways way over something that ultimately is just about being woke, right? So Disney broke the rules here. Let's go lambast them, but let's make sure we put them on a pedestal when they make a strong, empowered woman, right? Regardless. It's always about surface for them. It's never, they never bother to look deeper about whether or not something is legitimate or beneficial to the people that they're quote unquote trying to represent. It's always about the grandstanding and the sort of that of moral superiority and how can we grandstand today. And I find that highly interesting. So today Disney's your friend, tomorrow they're your enemy based on how woke they are at that given moment. That's my
Yeah, there's so many things too. I really want to read that book. I forget the name of it, but I see it pitched on a lot of fandom channels regarding a lot of the secrets behind Disney, the theme parks, things that have happened that they have just pushed under the rug. I think Drunk Therapio and Gary of Nerdrotics both have read it, and it's on my to-do list after the EU books. But yeah, it sounds like they have their fair share of big issues behind the scenes. And I do love a good article shedding some light on that kind of darkness, because it's really, that's all, it's going to need that kind of stuff over and over and over again to get them to make changes. So I'm down for that.
Yeah. Maybe they're not quite as woke as they want everyone to believe they are.
They're a multi-million-dollar corporation. They've got to have some conspiracies and some skeletons in their closets somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Oh, definitely. I love reading these articles though. Like they're all, I love how they word everything in these articles. It's so juicy. They just like throw wood into the fire of the feminist stuff, where women, stupid women reading this stuff go and run out of their house and join some rally.
I want to go get my pearls so I can.
They're like, oh, people with vaginas are standing against something. Oh, like, let's go. Yeah. It's like the
This article
environment.
said that this stuff's bad.
Yeah.
I really should go grab my pearls. I'm gonna start sending pearls. Oh my god, guys, I have an idea. We should
I
all
got a
get,
headband with pearls coming. So
we should all
just letting
get
you know.
pearls. That's gonna be my gift to you, ladies. I'm gonna mail you all pearls, and we're all gonna start clutching our pearls.
I love it.
Nice, very nice.
Awesome.
So, but yeah, that probably concludes my thoughts. If anybody else has anything they want to add to this article,
Disney sucks.
They're getting what they deserve. I love
Yeah,
it.
I'm glad they're getting some of their just desserts.
Mhm.
And I feel sorry for my children who will have to endure this Disney and not the Disney that was 20 years ago. Unfortunately, I
Yeah.
feel bad for them.
Yeah, that's true.
all right. Well, I think our next one up on the.
I love your bed, by the way. It's beautiful.
This
Where'd
really
you get it?
this
Yeah,
really
I'm
cool
down
chick
for
right
that.
now.
It's really nice. Very
Super
classy.
awesome chick. She sent it to me, and yeah, this is where I'm gonna stay.
I can't find you in here. This room is huge, I guess. I don't know.
There's just an endless wall of bed.
Literally on the bed with her right
We're at the bed store. Okay.
We're
all
together in the same room.
coming at the bed store.
King, no big. Last guy's king.
Yeah.
You guys have the bed.
Messed
for
with
that
my
Kanye.
mind.
Don't tempt me with a good time, people. All right. So, our next article is going to be read to us by the lovely Mergs over there. Megs, I want your background too, by the way, because there's a foot in it.
I did the foot. That's great. That's great.
What have you done?
She's got a leg up on the competition, y'all. Check it out.
That's the only way it would stay. It keeps falling down. I keep knocking it over, so it would only stay like that.
Nice.
Yeah,
I like it. That's
I like
great.
zombies. So.
You and Miss, man, you're both so thrilled to just have like dismemberment and stuff going on.
And I found all my Halloween wigs and stuff. I'm like, keep this stuff out forever.
Toxic
Never putting
whammon,
you away.
toxic whammon, guys.
Started.
All right. So are you ready for your article, Megs?
Yes, let me get my own article out here.
All right.
I got it.
I'm gonna teleport away for a minute here. There we go. I'm still here. No worries.
All right, guys. With the new Star Wars trailer and everything, I thought this was fitting. It says, Rise of Skywalker, runtime confirmed, the longest Star Wars movie ever. Okay. The official Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, runtime confirms. It is the longest installment in the franchise yet. Given everything the film needs to accomplish, it would be quite surprising if the movie was on the short side. Not only is this wrapping up the sequel trilogy that began in 2015's The Force Awakens, it is also serving as the definite conclusion to the entire Skywalker saga, accumulating a 9-movie arc that's been ongoing since 1977. In some respects, this is endgame for Star Wars, tying up one era before the franchise moves on to the new horizons. Sorry, guys. Endgame, of course, was a full 3 hours as it concluded the Infinite Saga, giving the original 6 Avengers the proper send-off they deserved. Since Disney was willing to go with a protracted runtime for Marvel, which had absolutely no impact on Endgame's total box office. Some were probably wondering if they do the same for Star Wars. Recently, there were rumors pointing to the film being 155 minutes long, and it turns out that that's precisely the case. AMC's official The Rise of Skywalker's page notes the film runs 2 hours 35 minutes, which is 155 minutes exactly. This makes Star Wars 9 the longest entry in the series to date. Previously, The Last Jedi was the longest, coming in at 152 minutes. For comparison's sake, The Force Awakens was 135 minutes. When the 155-minute runtime first circulated online, some theorized it was a placeholder. As director J.J. Abrams and crew worked diligently on post-production, there was a chance the picture wasn't locked yet. On The Force Awakens, Abrams didn't complete his final cut until November 2015, nearly a month before the film opened. However, it looks like he wrapped things up a little earlier this time around. Remember, Star Wars 9 was being edited on set during principal photography. While this runtime wasn't officially announced by Disney, the AMC listing works as a confirmation. The Rise of Skywalker tickets are now on sale, and theaters need to plan their schedule of daily screenings. More likely than not, the studio was in contact with the chains to let them know how long the movie is. Anticipation for The Rise of Skywalker is at an all-time high right now, and fans everywhere have their fingers crossed it ends the saga in a satisfying manner. Oddly enough, the film's runtime could be indicative of the potential quality. Rotten Tomatoes conducted a study that showed longer movies are more likely to receive fresh ratings from critics, so The Rise of Skywalker being 155 minutes is a good omen. Of course, that's not a guarantee the movie will be great, but it's an interesting statistic to keep in mind as viewers wait for the first batch of reactions to roll in this winter. Dun, dun.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
That's it.
So we're going to have to sit through this pile of hot garbage longer than we had to sit through the hot pile of garbage that was The Last Jedi.
Yeah. So, but you know what they say, statistically, that means that it's going to be a better movie per Rotten Tomatoes.
Statistically, because Rotten Tomatoes.
And they sold out all their tickets already, and they're
I
really just pushing that whole. There's no insecurities at all in this. I can tell you, I mean, with all the ticket sales and the saying, statistically, it's going to be a good movie. Going by the, I feel like this is. It screams damage control to me.
Sold out too, didn't it?
So did. How did that go, Disney? How did that one go? Was that one really great? I haven't seen a solo figurine.
Yeah, Ghostbusters broke records too. So did Solo.
Yeah, this is going to be a hot pile of garbage. So I'm assuming all the ladies here have seen the trailer.
Yeah. I've seen it 5 times.
I need therapy. I need therapy.
Yeah. So I had. So do we want to just kind of go down the line here and let everybody kind of give a recap of their reaction to it, or?
God. I should have brought wine.
This is the best. I could go. I've got liquor. I could go get it right now.
Dang, I need some. Okay.
So when I watched it, and look, I think most of us have our reaction videos up.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched it, and I was doing fine. I was doing fine with it until I got to the part where 3PO was taking one last look at my friends, and I lost it. I checked out emotionally. I was done after that. I was completely despondent, and so I realized, okay, well, I'm still doing a trailer reaction. I guess I have to react to this trailer, and I couldn't do it. The only thing I could think about was those aren't your friends. That's not. Rey, Finn, and Poe are not your friends. This ham-fisted attempt to try to push us into a place where we feel emotionally connected to these people because 3PO said we should be is ridiculous. Luke, Han, Leia are your friends. R2-D2 is your friend. Those are the people that you have spent the vast majority of your life with, right? Those are the people who you saved the galaxy with, right? So what are you talking about taking one last look at my friends? I was so done. It dragged me not to where they wanted. And yes, I was absolutely emotional, but not for the reasons that Disney wanted me to be emotional, not for the reasons that Lucasfilm wanted me to tear up a bit. I was emotional because you dragged me right back to that place where I remembered that you no longer see these original trilogy characters as having any meaning or weight in this world, because now it's the new people. And even though you never did anything to put me in a position to care about them, you still expect me to. It's like you're dragging me tied up behind a car, screaming at me, I promise you'll like it in a minute, and expecting me to let out a giggle or something.
Well, it's like they realized that if they did anything to any of these new characters, that emotionally we would be void of it. So they're like, okay, let's move on to the droids.
Yeah.
Move on to the droids.
Who is she? Tell me who she is. I don't know. I don't care. I don't. They cannot tell me who that is.
She seriously looks like, I'm not even kidding, like a mix of herself and Sinead O'Connor. No joke. Like, that's what I saw when I first saw it. I was like, oh my gosh, like that's her.
Yeah, dude, that's perfect.
Yeah, she does look like that.
When you look at Chewie and you feel nothing,
yeah,
that, like, what does that say? What does that say about the whole Disney Star Wars thing? You're looking at Disney right now. You're looking at Chewie right now, and it's like, that's not even Chewie.
Yeah.
You know why? Because he's not next to Han Solo.
It's his evil brother. Taken over by.
Just got him waltzing into the freaking cockpit of the Millennium Falcon like they own the joint, even though I have no idea how or why they really got there.
Okay.
You said they should be there. So
This scene got me very upset. My reaction video, I do have some positives that I would love to throw in here at some point, because although they could be unpopular opinion, I feel like a little diversity doesn't hurt. So yeah, regarding this one though, the issue for me is that this really screams a claustrophobic, chaotic mess. Like, okay, guys, we need to have some major CGI, huge battles where we cannot have visibility on what actually needs to happen, because to be honest, we don't have the right kind of people in our staff to be able to, you know, pinpoint that along and lead all the audience along to a cohesive ending. So this is camouflage. This is literally camouflage. It's like when Game of Thrones decides to use snow and dim lighting to make sure that in their battle scenes that you cannot see what the hell is going on. But hey, there's lots of people and there's lots of carnage. So hey, that's all that matters, right? This is total JJ. Total JJ. Like bigger, more, better. Like I'm just over it. This stuff, this is not what I come here for. This is not what I come here for. It's not a Transformers movie. It's a movie where there's great writing, great plot lines, relationships matter. And when that's gone, this stuff doesn't matter. That's secondary.
Absolutely. The plot. You lost the plot. Well, you never had.
My question is this. Where the fuck were all these motherfuckers when they were getting chased through space for the last fucking movie?
It's the Disney logic. Who cares?
There's been a time skip, Tom. That explains everything. There's been a time skip, and so now they have all their friends again, and everything is gonna be fine. You'll see that terrible, horrible ending that we have everything we need. When they ended off with The Last Jedi, they did. Like, we should never have worried about them. There was never a reason to be concerned for their well-being, because everybody's back and everything is fine. Like, the funny thing to me is that they had no concept of what it meant to actually leave our heroes in a truly perilous situation, right? Like, because you manufactured this threat and you made everything terrible. They took this whole notion that, like it was with The Empire Strikes Back, of, okay, so we're not in a good place right now. How are we going to come back from this? They took that and they put it at its most base value, right? But we're going to go right back to being where we were before now. And so it means nothing. It means nothing anymore. Because
to be honest, I wish 40 years would have passed before they did this to Star Wars.
Do what?
I said, to be honest, I wish that 40 years would have really passed before Disney decided to do this to Star Wars, because then I wouldn't have been around to really see it. So that's what I was. That's where I'm coming from.
Right.
Just kill me now, guys. Kill me now.
Absolutely nothing. That's my reaction to this trailer. It's nothing.
It's numb. It's numb. It's numb.
Yeah, that's literally what I said at the end of the trailer action. I was like, I am empty. I am empty. You've given me, and there's nothing to, you don't understand a thing that's going on. There's no context for anything. You're just given a bunch of clips and mishmashed together. And I'm not, and maybe that's because they don't have any real idea exactly.
Like they turned it into an ad libs. It's like a mega version of ad libs.
They did.
Like, yeah, that's what I feel like.
I wrote down what they said here, and it doesn't make any sense. Like I literally wrote down every word they had in the trailer. It's like 4 lines. I'll read it to you if you want. It's like a couple lines. You want me to read it?
Read it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. It says, "It's an instinct, a feeling. The force brought us together. We are not alone. Good people. We will fight if we lead them. People keep telling me they know me. No one does, but I do.
I don't know you.
I don't know you.
Emperor." Oh, I wrote that because that was my note. "Long have I waited, and now you're coming together. Coming together is your undoing. What are you doing, 3PO? Taking one last look, sir, at my friends. Confronting fear is the destiny of the Jedi, your destiny. The Force will be with you, always."
That doesn't mean anything. You can't derive anything from
That's it. That's literally all that there was.
Those are just words.
Okay.
They're just words.
Everybody ready? 1, 2, 3, space horses go.
Yeah.
Sorry.
J.J. Abrams, 10 out of 10.
Are we in space or not? Are we in space or not? Why are we riding around on fuzzy ponies? Why is this happening? This doesn't even make any sense.
Is it really a battle without horses, though?
Do you give them like tusks? Are they horses with tusks?
Look at them. They're so stupid looking. Yeah, they look like what with horses.
They should have been tauntauns. They should have just transported thousands of tauntauns there, and that would have been believable to me. Because they have all those ships. I'm sure they could have grabbed some tauntauns instead of bringing whatever this is on the franchise. Another. It's just more merch, I bet.
Yeah,
They're gonna be like, oh, look how cute these are. Hey, it's a new item, y'all. Porgs were so cool last year.
Yeah.
Let's jump on this horse thing. Let's go.
I saw it on Twitter earlier. I don't remember who did it, but I saw it on Twitter earlier. They shall henceforth be dubbed borses. You know, because boars, like they are henceforth borses.
I don't even need to see the next few seconds because the next clip, when it pans over and there's a couple of stormtroopers with machine guns and they all die. That's what happens in the next few frames.
I wonder how Finn feels about that. You okay over there, Finn?
It's always the cavalry on the horses, though, that usually get it. I mean, I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like those guys are the ones that, they look all cool and stuff, but that's like their last scene. So, what a scene to end on.
They just look like huge javelinas to me.
Look at BB-8s there racing the horses.
Yeah, he can totally keep up, guys.
Or big javelinas.
It's so ridiculous.
It's a space unicorn. You put the horn in the wrong spot, sweetie. That's
so weird. They're like Clydesdales. Like it's weird.
And they're on the ship. It's in the air right now. They're not like landed.
I would are we in Lord of the Rings? Am I?
I'm just gonna say this: the CGI on this photo looks terrible. Some of the photos, like the marketing photos from all the releases they've been doing, look fake. It's so pristine. This just looks awful.
Well, granted,
it looks like a video game.
I'm sure there's more rendering that's bound to be done before it's actually released.
Well, don't count on it. You know, we don't know anything about that.
It's like if Gandalf came with his army, but they were all in TIE fighters.
I don't know why we're being dragged out with more space horses, because that went over so well the last time. Super chat.
Just video game. It looks like a video game.
Do you want me to read it, Tom? Or
Go ahead if you want to, Mary.
So the DCV Titan says, this trailer proves they can turn cold into shit.
It can be done.
It's absolutely can be done. Well, and this trailer doesn't even give us anything. I think, what was it? I saw some pickup arts done last night. I think, they're in the essentially the old Death Star that they've raised out of the water. Like, Why do you just keep doing the same things that have been done over and over again? Why can't you give us something relatively new? It's like lifting rocks. Okay, lifting stuff out of water, like the X-Wing out of water. Why don't you do something new, right? I don't want the freaking, yeah, there it is. I do not want the Death Star raised out of the water. I'm sick to death of Death Stars. I'm so sick and tired of them. I cannot see straight. Every movie, you have a new freaking Death Star.
They're creative vacuums. They literally take everyone else's stuff and suck it up until it's gone and there's nothing else left.
And then they resurrect it out of the water and do it again.
So
Right.
please tell me you have the picture of Kylo in the rain. I need to see his face. Please, if you don't have that, that's fine. But I would love to comment on that. That is right.
I gotta say though about the whole Death Star thing, George Lucas and J.J. Abrams got a thing for big balls. That is all.
Clearly, good God.
J.J. Abrams,
look at him. He looks like he's trying to be a fish.
JJ's like bigger, but anyway, here.
It's like they knew, okay, y'all, it's not good enough the way let's add some rain, let's add some storms, we got to make this guy, because he doesn't have a helmet, this is how he looks, y'all. How are we going to make this look more ominous? Let's have water dripping down his face. He's very mad. His hair has to be disheveled. Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Doesn't he look like things rolling? He looks like he's got a wad of spit coming right down his chin.
He looks like he just smelled a fart, honestly. Like he looks like, all right, y'all, I don't even want to be here, but let's get this over with. I mean, I just
saw fucking space horses. I want to go home.
Oh man. Oh. I had to comment on that because when I saw it, when I had the first initial reaction, I saw the trailer, I was like, wait, okay, how am I supposed to be, this is supposed to be scary to me, like watching him climbing up in the rain, like how she's done this before. She's won this before. And also, just to say, did you notice how much climbing that she does in this trailer? Climbing up things, scurrying. I wonder if that's some kind of like nod to like women climbing up their way through this franchise or something. Like she literally climbs more than any other person I've seen on screen. Always climbing, always scurrying up things. I mean, her climbing skills are great. I'll give her that. But I mean, I feel like it's obnoxious at this point if they're trying to tell us something about that. Anyway, I don't know if you know. You'll notice it now.
Those are very clean.
We should take all of the themes from this, guys, and pay no attention to the actual character development that, you know.
What character development, Mary?
Well, exactly.
I think that they're probably finally going to have her go through some sort of Jedi training now, you know.
No, wait. Too little, too late.
No,
I agree. They've got this.
Yeah, she's going to go through Jedi training with someone who was never a Jedi. That's the problem.
Exactly. So, like, they're going to try to make us feel like us. They're going to try to make us happy now because we, you know, we're like, and that's what the point is when they're like, well, no one knows who I am, you know.
You're right.
Leia was never a Jedi, but they went ahead and killed off Luke, even though he was totally acceptable to teach her the ways of the Force. But no, we must have it from a woman to a woman, because you know, I can imagine she'd be so uncomfortable, learning from Luke. Hell. Sorry, I need to let other people talk. I am so pissed off.
No, it makes me mad that they killed Luke. Like, it just makes me so mad.
The extent of J.J. Abrams' ability to be existential is confronting fear is the destiny of a Jedi. That's his level of existentialism, and that's not a thing. I don't know how to express it other than those are just words he strung together to sound pretty in his little trailer. That's all he knows how to do. I've been saying this for so long that J.J. Abrams only knows how to come up with something that will look really good, another thing that will look really good, several things that look really nice, and string them together next to each other for a long period of time so it looks like there's a movie, but there's absolutely nothing there.
Oh my God, that better. Go ahead, Tom. $2 from Anthony Jolie.
Ceremonies.
Do what?
He said you're the mistress of ceremonies.
Well, thank you so much. I will allow you to defer to my toxicity. So, $2 from Anthony Shelley says, sequel trilogy fans, the prequels have too much CGI. Yes, in reference to earlier when Candace was talking about like stuff on the screen. There are things, CGI, all the things. It does absolutely blow my mind that yes, they complain constantly about the level of CGI that is in the prequels, but then they go and they shove it full of CGI and they're like, look guys, things. Look, the prequels didn't age well, and neither will this. There will come a point when this will no longer look good. You cannot rely on these things to make your movie stand out or have any sort of like value, because it's not legitimate value for something to just look good, because eventually it won't. And so when that time comes and we're back down to the base value of what it is that you've presented to us, we're still going to wind up with what it was that you presented story-wise, and that is nothing. You've given us nothing of substance. So explosions, lens
Good luck with the merch.
stuff on the screen, horses with tusks. That matters. None of it matters.
There was another scene in that trailer that Doomcock pointed out. If any of you have seen Doomcock's review of it, you should watch it. But there's a scene in there where they're fighting. It's a scene where they're fighting, and he shows she's reeled back like this, and Kylo is the opposite with his whole side totally open to her to attack. But she swings upward and hits his saber.
Yeah.
Like kids playing with swords, not actual fighting.
Yeah. And you can say what you want to about the prequels looking like a dance, but I believed those sort. I believed it because it looked like the type of lightsaber duels that would happen when Jedi were in their heyday, when they're ahead of everything, when they're a split second ahead of where everyone else would be mentally because they're being guided by the Force. To me, you can say that it looked like a dance, but it felt real to me. It felt like this is what a lightsaber duel is supposed to look like, and it made sense because they were well choreographed. They went for the openings. They went for the spots where they could get in at the other person. This doesn't look like a legitimate duel. This just looks like, what was it? I think it was Uche or somebody said last night. It just looks like they're swinging baseball bats at each other. Like, let's just club them with a baseball bat and call it.
They need Ray Parks, the guy that played Maul, to come back and give them a little bit of something to go by with their swordplay, because he is a true Jedi or Sith master, I should say. And he is fantastic. He is so good.
Real quick, guys, we got a $5 super chat from Mr. Gently Benevolent. He said, "It's bad, but can we acknowledge the craftsmen of the Empire's men? Once they put a chair in place, that chair stays in place. Explosions be damned." Yeah. Explosions be damned. I'm not the. Oh, you're talking about the Empire's chair. Yeah. Look.
I just want to say that I agree with Candy, because some of Darth Maul's lightsaber scenes are like the best ever. I just want to put that out.
They still give me goosebumps, and I know what's going to happen. I've seen it 100 times.
There's some
of the best stuff before.
Huh?
Do what?
Did it look like that before, or does it look fucking dumb now?
It does kind of look like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's right.
This is a different throne. This is a different throne because here's his original throne. Hang on, I gotta get the picture up.
Yeah, I didn't see anything familiar from the last time, but it is. It's still really weird looking. I mean, that's cool. It's not my favorite part of the trailer. There's not very many favorite part of the trailers though, so it goes along with it, I guess.
That girl Jedi thing is coming. Make sure my chair looks extra.
Oops, I put it.
Yeah.
I put it in the right thing. That's what he said.
Make sure my chair is spiffy.
Right there. That's where he was sitting when he died. Where he would have been sitting
like Sean Connery.
Okay.
I want the window behind me broken so the air can come through and blow my hair glamorously.
Like, see, even in this scene, you have to have the sunlight coming in to filter like how shitty this is all looking. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like dusty looking through there because they don't want you to see what they have put together. Even though when they're emphasizing the light coming in, they're actually doing a way to make it harder to see. That's impressive.
it's gloomy, it's dark, it's gritty still.
Abrams is a moron. I can't stress enough how much I cannot stand this person and how they're able to make movies in Hollywood like they're a genius. He's not a genius. He's such an idiot. And I hate when people stand up for him because he has no idea what he's doing.
So I had two really good things about this that I did like, and I wanted to stress them because it wasn't a total flop for me. It was pretty close, but it wasn't total. The musical score was beautiful. It had a lot of points to it that brought me back to the originals and the prequels, and it was beautifully done. Throughout it, you can pinpoint little moments where they weaved in the scores from the original series, and I appreciated that. The other thing is, I don't know if you have a picture, Tom, or of the ice world that they introduced to us in this trailer. I do want to comment on that because I do know a little bit about it, and it's the one. Yes, so. For those who are not aware, this is the ice planet. I think it's called Kijimi. And over on the left-hand side, there's a big city there. And on that city, I think it's called either Thieves Tower, something along the lines. And this is where we're going to be meeting Kerry Russell's character, Zora Bliss. So it's going to be a very important world, I think, that is going to be introduced to us in a lot of different detailed scenes. I'm hoping for that. And if they knew that they could pull something this detailed off and so different from the other worlds, why the hell would they give us Jakku, which is essentially Tatooine Part Dew? Okay, like I just don't understand that. Like if they can bring in something this visually stunning, which to me it is. I know this is unpopular opinion. It's very divisive. This is like people were like, "What the hell is this?" You know, it's just a way to show more spaceships because it's JJ. I feel like if they are going into this world and showing different parts of the city, that's one piece that I'm looking forward to because I do love the world building of Star Wars. I just don't like Jakku. I don't like Crete. I don't like Batu. I don't like any of those, but I like this. So
it's not about really an unpopular opinion. It's more just the ability to be excited about something, and it's really good to be excited about Star Wars. You want to be excited about Star Wars.
I wanted to be
so mad when I was
watching. I have eternal optimism, and it's awful.
Being able to be optimistic is good.
Look, I'm with you. There were some leaks that when they came out, I myself got like somewhat excited, right? Because there was some chatter and banter about, oh, okay, so maybe Snoke was the son, right? Or there were other various things that made me potentially excited that Luke wasn't actually dead. There were some things that I had heard that made me sort of glimmer of hope within me. And I'll never let that hope, I guess, completely die, because at the end of the day, I'm far too willing to walk into something and try to be like, okay, so I'm going to be objective here, because it's just this sort of, you should always try to hold on to the desire to try to be objective as humanly possible, and don't hate something just for the sake of hating it. Nevertheless, at this point, a sparkle, a glimmer of something here, a flash of hope there does not a good movie make. And so I can't also allow myself to just sort of sit there on tender hooks and have my heart ripped out of my chest either. So it's a sort of balancing act that you need to do to kind of move forward in a way that allows you to protect your heart, not allow yourself to be crushed, but not completely reject all sense of even the potential for hope either. So I do get what you're saying, Candace, when it comes to like the notion that you're willing to find the good in something. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do that, but at the same time, I'm not going to allow them to rip my heart out of my chest again, as they seem so fond of doing these days. Yeah. I am going to absolutely walk in there critical of what it is that you bring to me. And if you knock my socks off, I'll grant you that, but you better knock my socks off, or you're not going to get what it is that you want from me. So
I want to just reiterate my opinion about this, because I don't hate this. I didn't hate the trailer. I'm not hateful towards it. I don't care. I'm angry that I don't care. That's where my anger stems from. I want to care about Star Wars. I wanted to care about these characters, and I wanted a decent Star Wars story. I didn't get it. I didn't get characters I can care about. I don't care. I really don't. And I'm not going to be watching Rise of Skywalker when it comes out. Not because I want to boycott it, not because I hate it, not just because I hate J.J. Abrams, because I don't care. I just don't care.
Well, I will be seeing it, but I won't be paying for it. So I have a friend. I grew up in this town, so I know everybody here. So I have a friend, and I'll be seeing it in the theater. I just won't be. I should probably be careful. This is a bigger channel than mine. So,
Just kidding.
I'm seeing Rise of Skywalker. They will not be getting my money. We'll leave it at that.
So says Miss Game, like Miss Geeks and Gamers over there, for fuck's sake, whatever. And that is all.
She's hiding.
No big.
Nope. No comments. Sorry about that. Thank you. Yes. Woohoo. Yeah. So yeah, anyway, that's one last thing. Do we want to touch on the like to dislike ratio before we move on to Candace's article? Candace's article. Do you want to touch on that? Okay, so you have that pulled up here, Tom. Can we scroll down at all and take a look at the like to dislike ratio or no? Because I have it pulled up on my computer. Tom's dead.
It's probably easier at this point.
Okay. So last I checked, and I'll go ahead and refresh this to make sure that it's still good. 82. Okay, so we have a grand total of 581,000 likes on the trailer to 82,000 dislikes on this trailer. That is where we're sitting at with this. That is, well, it's hard to call us a minority. Well, I mean, obviously we're still a minority, at least in terms of the overall likeage of it. And it's hard to know. And that number is still climbing. Okay, that number is absolutely. It was like 40K this morning, right? 82,000 dislikes on this trailer. That's insane.
Yeah, I was in on that when it right when it came up. I was like 9,000 likes, and it was already at like 1.7 dislikes. Mm-hmm. So that was 1.7K dislikes. I was like, damn, damn, that's pretty funny.
I love it. I love it. The fandom menace is showing up, and look, not even everybody. That's 82,000, right? That's insane. But at the end of the day, that's not even the 200,000. Like, I think when this is all said and done, you're going to see this probably in the hundreds of thousands of dislikes, just because we haven't even all shown up yet. It literally just dropped last night, right? We haven't even hit 24-hour mark yet.
And didn't Disney or whoever say to JJ that he has to redo it until because I think JJ originally said that this is not going to make everybody happy. And then they said you have to redo it because we want everybody happy. And now we're getting likes. I just think it's funny.
Well, the thing I noticed though is the amount of views it has compared to the amount of likes and dislikes. Period. That just seems awfully low, and that's been
that shows numb. That's that numb feeling that we all have encountered.
Well, I don't know if that or if it's been the numbers have been tinkered with. I don't know for sure, but I'm just speculating there, and that's yeah.
Well, and what was it? They were saying that it was sold out or whatever, and 12 million views in it. And we'll never know whether or not they tinker with it. And I'm not going to put on a conspiracy tinfoil hat for this because I don't really operate that way. I do believe that you should look at numbers. I don't like that sort of other side's tactic of Russian bots, guys. It's all Russian bots. I don't like that tactic. I don't think it's a legitimate tactic because unless you can prove it, then you probably don't need to be,
Yeah, I've been called a Russian bot too, so I don't believe everyone who says that sort of thing. So
yeah,
the amount of views it's gotten, there's just people who didn't give it a like or a dislike at all. So,
but they'll call us Russian bots in a heartbeat, absolutely in a heartbeat. Oh, that's not really. There's not really 50. Sorry, what was that? I'm sorry, 82,000 dislikes on it. There's not really 82,000 dislikes on this trailer. That's Russian bots, guys. We are a figment of their imagination. We are not really here. We don't exist. We are just Russian bots trolling the internet. We're not real. I do like that point that you made about the ratio from just period likes and dislikes to how many people have viewed it. That being so, there's such a huge discrepancy there. That's interesting. We got a $5 super chat from Jaybird3. He says, with that many dislikes, I'd say that the new trailer got a lukewarm reception.
Shoot.
I love it.
It's only been 24 hours too, not even 24 hours.
Perfect.
Nice.
Tom coming in clutch with the
I was
soundboard.
waiting for that sound effect.
I love it. So, all right, well, we're going to go ahead and move into our last article for the night. Guys, please give a big warm welcome to Candace. She is our newest member of Toxic Femininity. So, for now, she'll be sort of pitch hitting and coming in when we need her to. So, much like Mara, we'll see her, hopefully as often as possible. But, you never know what the future may hold. And I think she's done a pretty bang up job so far. What do you guys think?
I like it so far. I'm enjoying you guys. I'll do it anytime you need me. You just holler. All right. Well, may I introduce this next article, or do you want to say anything?
My love.
All right. So I came across this little lovely piece today, and it just this headline, I almost didn't believe it. I had to do a double take. Disney screenwriter is tired of strong female characters.
What?
So yeah, that one caught me off guard, and I was like, you guys, I got something here. Okay, so this is, I'm going to read just a little bit of this, and then I have sort of a supplementing article that offers a little bit more insight to this. I'm going to show you guys next, but it says one of Disney's most prolific screenwriters has just about had enough of the verbiage about strong female characters. Linda Wolverton, keep an eye on her. She's got some stuff going on, by the way. I'm going to talk a little bit more about her after this, but is the screenwriter responsible for developing Belle into an astute bookworm in Beauty and the Beast. She also had a hand in taking the fiendish Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty and creating a villain among villains. She says she's familiar with the phrase strong female characters, and she's rather sick of it, saying she's heard it for years and years. It's just an easy term, Wolverton said. What does it mean? The famous Disney screenwriter says that there are so many more ways to describe women rather than limiting that description to only one word, strong. She goes further by giving her own take on the definition of a strong female character, explaining that the phrase should mean what the phrase should mean rather than what it usually means in the mainstream. A strong female character is somebody who is proactive in their world, who affects their world, isn't a victim. That was weird to see that. Isn't a victim, even victimized by it, Wolverton said. Or if they are victimized by it, they take action to change that for themselves. Oh, this woman, man, she's got my heart. Wolverton says that those so-called strong female characters in stories look at the world in interesting ways, and that it is those unique perspectives that serve to make a woman strong, if she will stand up and be vocal about her perspectives. And that little thing right here, this is you guys. Everybody here in this little show tonight, women standing up and being vocal about your perspectives. This really just rang true for everyone in the fandom that didn't feel like they had something similar, that people are preaching around them, feeling different and having the confidence to speak out your perspective. That's what kind of brought that to me when I thought of that.
Candace, doing that means we've internalized our misogyny.
Yeah, well, maybe some of these Disney screenwriters are starting to figure it all out. The Disney screenwriter says that there are so many ways to describe a woman rather than only referring to her as strong. So this kind of talks a little bit about what else she's done, and I want to briefly just touch on this little part here. After the success Disney enjoyed from its full-length feature film Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in 1937, Walt himself began to work on an adaptation of Beauty and the Beast, but writer after writer found it nearly impossible to tell the story of the beautiful maiden and the prince who had been cursed with the hideous appearance of a monster. So basically, she got into Disney with this film being her big break, and essentially redid the entire film for Walt. And Beauty and Beast is practically it was mostly her work. Belle, all of Belle was her.
I love this woman. I love this woman. I didn't know she existed, and I love her.
Yeah, right. Previous work, she's collaborated with Disney with his Aladdin, Mulan, and co-wrote The Lion King. So she is very well known, and seeing somebody with this much clout in the Disney company stepping forward and having this opinion, I think that's really promising. And I wanted to mention just a couple other things on this subsequent article I found regarding her. Let me see if I can tune in sort of on, let's see. Let me see if I can find that quote. There was right up here. Yes. Okay. So one other thing that kind of boosted this Linda Wolverton to the spotlight is that because she had done the animated versions of Beauty and the Beast and the Lion King, they had not, I guess all the animators and people who were part of those films had not been able to negotiate with Disney regarding the remakes, and they are all making zero on all of these remakes, including the Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, and all that. And that's why she is really wanting to put herself out there doing all these live action Maleficents, because she knows as an animator you're not getting anything anymore. And so yeah, she's expanding herself with Maleficent in that way. Let's see here. Oh yeah. For Beauty and the Beast, Wolverton essentially remade the Disney heroine to be a proactive agent of her own story. The earlier princesses Snow White, Cinderella, and Aurora always had something happen to them. After Belle, every Disney leading lady made their own choices in their own stories. She says, "I don't think a Disney heroine ever went back after that." So what a catalyst kind of moment in Disney's history to have the lead female making her own decisions and deciding her own destiny, rather waiting for a prince to come save her. And in such a great way, not a way where she's putting those around her down, but in a way where she's just elevating herself.
Well, not just elevating the people around her too. That was one of the reasons. And look, you touch my heart when you talk about Belle, right? I've gone on record. I was even ready to get into it with Anna the other day over look, Belle is my heroine of all heroines, because she represents a sort of feminine, strong femininity, right?
Right.
This ability to go to be around people and to engage them in a way that not only builds you up, but brings them up as well, right?
Exactly.
This sort of sacrificial strength that she could never have taken the beast and won or beat him in a fight, right?
Exactly.
But never have rushed in and saved her father and run out of the building with him, right? But what she could do was lay herself and her own life down for her father in this sort of sacrificial act, right? So let's not blow this out of the realm of reality, right? Because at the end of the day, women are just simply physically not as strong as males are. So if you pit us against a male, let alone a beast, we're not going to win that fight. But what we can do is we can use our mind, we can use our intellect, and we can engage it in a way that works for us, and to demean us in a way, to give us what it is that belongs to a male and act like it should just inherently belong to a female because reasons, rather than allowing us to play to our, allowing us to use what it is that we can possess, and not that we can't possess physical strength, but chucking that sword in a female's hand and expecting her to be able to conduct herself in the same way that a male would is absolutely ridiculous. And
she touches exactly on this whole gender swapping thing, which made me love her even more, because she's this one's vocal, y'all. I'm curious when Disney's going to put a muzzle on her, because I'm serious. This is someone that is very well known in terms of putting in the history in Disney. So she says strong female characters. It's a phrase that's been more than a little warped today, thrown around as a blanket statement to hype up any movie with a female lead. She thinks the terms become trite. There are so many more facets to a woman that's just strong. She explains, I think it's a catch-all phrase that hopefully we, as we explore the dimensions of female protagonists, will fade away into more specifics about that particular character. The nuance goes further. It's not so easy as swapping out male leads for female leads. Women don't do things the same, don't make the same choices, don't have the same struggles, she says. You don't just take out a male protagonist and plug in a female, put a sword in her hand and call it good, because that's not going to change anything, end quote. We work for Disney, y'all.
Have we seen that before?
Preach.
Right?
At what point did it become okay for you to chuck a female in a male's role and call it handled? At what point was that any kind of justice done to progressing women? At what point did society wake up and say, okay, well, as long as we just let them do whatever it is that a male does and we shove them into that role, then we're doing right by women? Why is that okay? Why is that enough? When did women accept that as simply being adequate? Because it's not adequate. I want proper representation. If you're going to do it well, or don't do it at all. Don't shove me into that position and say, oh, well, look, you got the same thing as a guy. I don't want the same thing as a guy. I want what works for me.
It's not even about that. When you're telling a story, when you're talking about a story, physical strength has nothing to do with whatever story you're trying to tell about. It's an attribute of the character. If the character is strong, what does that have to do with the struggles that they're going to have to face later on? Mulan being strong wasn't what that was about. It was about her standing up for her family, her taking on a cause that no one believed that she could, and doing what she wanted to do for her father to save China. It had nothing to do with her being physically strong. You can give Rey all the strength, all the training, all the power in the world, but what story do you want to tell with her? What
They need to celebrate.
women to be?
They need to, instead of just making a woman a man on screen without going through a whole like super physical transformation here, just essentially making them male. They need to celebrate the things that really make women strong in real life, like real life women strong, to sort of like just shove those characteristics aside and just take on traditionally male strengths. It's a backhand to women without them really realizing it, or if they do know that and they're just going about this the cheap, easy way, because they assume their audiences are all just shallow. I don't know. It's upsetting.
Do you want us to be strong, or do you want us to be empowered? Because there's a difference here. There's a very big difference. And a woman can go bench press a bajillion freaking pounds if she works her way up to that and she gets to that point, I suppose. I suppose it would take a lot of effort, or a very special, in terms of genetically speaking, woman to be able to do that. But do you want a woman to be strong, or do you want her to be empowered? Do you want her to be able to handle what it is that life throws at her, and whatever ingenuity that she may possess to be able to get around those obstacles as best as humanly possible? Or do you want her to just punch it?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a difference.
Even the strong males that they're trying to make the female characters into, them being strong has nothing to do with their story.
Mm.
Even
so I agree 100%. It feels like it's the thing that everyone easily recognizes when it's marketing, when it's marketed, the movie and stuff. Because I think by trying to spotlight more nuanced characteristics that strong females have in real life, that's harder to put up in a trailer. That's harder to put, you know what I mean? Because you want to show the strength of a man. You can show him leading a cavalry charge. You can show him, busting some reps out and stuff like that's easy to see. But there are things that women are particularly strong at that some traditionally, men find it harder to do. And organization and some communicational skills, as much as men like to say that women don't know anything, they babble all day long, blah, blah, blah. Communication is a key thing.
Right? Hella good multitaskers.
There's got to be ways to incorporate that. And I'm going to do a little digging on this Linda woman. I want to know who are her friends, like who does she associate with? Because I guarantee you, if she's going to put herself out here like this, she's in a circle that is safe for her to do so. Right. So I'm going to look at her up a little bit after this, because I'm really interested in her now.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely. I don't know about you guys. Beauty and the Beast was like, that was my go-to as a kid. That was my family actually grew up. All of the women got assigned Disney princesses. My mother's doing right. Like, so my mom is Cinderella, and my sister is Aurora, and I am Belle.
Nice.
I was always very proud of that. And this didn't boil down to just looks, right? Because like my sister may have been blonde, and all of that jazz. But my mom did not look like Cinderella. So this boiled down to our sort of attributes. And the joke was, my sister's narcoleptic. So that was sort of why she got battled with Aurora, because she's the most sort of basic bitch of the group, right? This basic bitch. My sister's not a basic bitch, but she was very sleepy all of the time. But my mom, it boiled down to sort of this hard work ethic, right? My mom was this super hard working woman who, if you handed it to her, if you put it in front of her, she would make it happen, and she never gave up. And so I was sort of this bookworm as a kid, and incredibly affectionate and willing to try to love someone, even if it was like a growling, snarling dog. I was like, come here, I'm gonna love you anyway. So I loved Belle because she was sort of this put on this pedestal for me, because she had this heart of gold, and she was capable of seeing past this outer shell, and that was a strength. That was her strength that you put. This was an empowering thing for her to have, an ability that she used. But it's frowned upon now, because you can't look into a person and find what's good about them. Now that's frowned upon. Well, you should just run away from everything that's hard, I suppose.
The judging of character has become such a warped thing these days that it's really what's on the outside versus being able to judge the inside. That's a big part of it to me too. I think so. You can go into like the whole rabbit hole of social media and entertainment and how that has warped a lot of people's minds on who you should be spending time with. But I just love that story so much too. I'm glad you resonate with her, Mary. It's one of my favorite Disney classics too, for sure. Nothing wrong with a prince saving a woman. I think that's great. But when a woman can stand up and save herself, that's also great. So I'm down with it.
I know we have a few super chats we need to get to, Tom. I think we had one from Sith Lord way back there. I don't want to keep. I know you've got a few more as well. Tom's dead. We killed him.
So that toxic femininity.
Wait, Jeff, I see you.
What?
I'm looking for the one from Sith Lord, you said.
Lord, I can see if I can find it back here. Not that far. We've been yakking.
Well, at least that's a breath of fresh air that we're finally getting some people with some brains that are seeing.
Right?
At least.
Notable ones, like people that are deep in that Disney, world filter of things.
Definitely, good for us over here.
I've got it right here, Tom, if you can't find it.
I found it.
Okay. All right. Let me pull this up here. All right. So $2 from Sith Lord. He says, love, live. I think he probably meant long live the fandom menace. But love, live the fandom menace. And for the love of mayhem. Thank you, Sith Lord. I appreciate you so much, honey bunny. He's one of my patrons over on Patreon as well.
Nice.
And I know he had a few more, Tom. Love you, Sith Lord. He's the reason I have my Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber that's hiding back behind my green screen.
Rosetta Allen.
We got $2 from Rosetta Allen. She says, Belle was one of my nicknames, my spirit sister. It's interesting how many women connect with Belle on such a deep level, because it does sort of resonate with you, that sort of inner strength, right?
Because a female screenwriter wrote her.
Love it. And then we got $2 from the Rookie Critic. He says, "Hello, hey Rookster, what's up, man? All the love to you. If you guys haven't checked out Rookie Critic, you should definitely go subscribe to his channel.
I love her.
You should be able to relate to your characters. That's definitely a big part of it. If you can't relate, you can't put yourself in that position and sympathize with those characters, then it's just all for show."
Mm-hmm. We got another super chat from the Rookie Critic. Oh, I love you, Ricky. I freaking love you. I don't know if you got it there, Tom. So $2 from the Rookie Critic. He says, how does this not have 500 viewers watching? We're moving on up. We're doing pretty well. I think.
Well, it's because it's on After Dark.
That's probably why. No. These conversations are fit for prime TV there, Tom.
After Dark is like the UHF of YouTube. I get it. Okay, we suck.
No,
we don't suck. don't take it out on these lovely ladies. Take it out on me. Take it out on Rob. It's mostly his fault. That is all.
So yeah, I loved this article. Candace, this was such a find. It was such a fantastic find. So freaking
Yeah, I'm glad that you have me on today. I never would have found it if I wasn't coming here. So, you know what I mean?
I found pizza. That's what I found.
Delicious.
Dude, she came in like guns a-blazing for this. She was like, I'm going to come in with a toxic female article. It's going to be the best toxic female article that's ever been existed in the
Not even just the toxic female article. She had like context to the article about the person. Like she's ready to go.
guns blazing, Candace.
Yeah, so I liked school when I was younger. If that means anything, I dig homework, and I take notes. So
Yes, my freaking note-taking sister over there.
yeah, I can't live without my notes. So yeah, when I found out that I forgot that we had to bring an article, I was like, oh crap. And did some digging and was lucky to see this. I'm really happy that I know of this woman's name now, because she's going to be my spirit animal, and I'd like to be her one day. Just being able to talk about that in the midst of working for a company that is obviously not thinking the same way.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. We do have a $5 super chat from Loquacious Primate. He says, I don't recall Anna criticizing Belle for lacking physical strength. It was that she acted in a way that one may find manipulative and didn't love Beast. I've never had this full flight. We've never gotten into it. I've never actually gotten into the conversation with Anna. And I think that's just a measure of respect that we were like the one time we talked about it, we bordered on the edge of having that conversation. I will say this, and I've never actually heard Anna myself, her argument against Belle. Here's what I will say. To accuse Belle of not actually loving the Beast seems counterintuitive to the very fact that he was transformed back into a human because she did love him. Of course she loved him. I'm not sure what the arguments to say, what is the argument to say that she didn't love him? She grew to love him. That was one of my favorite parts about Beauty and the Beast, was that it wasn't a 3-second romance. There was time.
She got to know him, and that's the point.
Yeah.
It takes a moment to learn what someone is about. You can easily assume by looking at what they look like,
Mm-hmm.
but taking the time to get to know somebody in that way can oftentimes make you feel things for that person that otherwise you wouldn't have felt. I think it is that simple. It's something that's very relatable to, I think, most women. That you know, especially if they're looking for love in that kind of way, something that means something. A lot of times we see a lot of beasts, and not necessarily looking that same way. They're more beastly on the inside than the outside. And so having a film that kind of shows what we should be looking for. It's not so much the looks. And then those fade anyway. And our looks are going to fade too.
Exactly. And I think that it was meant to push forward you were meant to understand that was the depth of her soul, that she could see past that exterior and actually fall in love with someone who may have been a beast externally, but she looked past that. She found within him something sweet and almost kind. He was mean and he was coarse and unrefined, but now he's dear, and she found the love of, he's so unsure. He's creeping forward with the bird seed and he's trying so hard. Come on, little birds, get in my hand. And she's just sitting there going, oh, and what woman in that situation wouldn't go, oh, you're so sweet? I mean,
I think that's why they had her be a book reader, because it's such a proper characteristic or a proper personality trait for someone like that. Someone who's willing to take the time to get to know the story rather than judge the book on the cover. I mean, it's so perfect in so many ways. And I mean, there's a lot there that you can chew on in terms of why she is the way she is. They give you a lot of reasons why. And I think it's a simple story that people like to pick apart, but I think that the essence of it is simple and relatable.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
That was horrible.
I don't agree with the notion that she was a gold digger. I think that she would have been happy. What we understood of Belle, what we got to know of her as a person, she would have been happy to leave with her father and never
Yeah,
return.
she was saving her dad, and if she was that way, she would have been all about the,
Gaston.
that. Yeah,
would
I know. It was like she
Gaston.
literally turned down Gaston, which is the one everybody wanted, and so I don't get that part of the argument.
Yeah,
The castle's all nasty looking too. The castle's all ugly and scary, and
you got to drink out of a teapot that's
yeah.
you. This is not the life you want, right?
No,
This is not what you're pursuing. Every woman in this town is after Gaston, but she sees what a beast he is on the inside, and she turns him down. A gold digger would not do that. She would have shacked up with the first well-to-do guy that crossed her path, and certainly the most well-to-do guy in her town. But instead, she sacrificed herself and laid it down for her father, and wound up in a position to get to know someone on a much more intimate level. And because Belle was who she was capable of seeing past the exterior, just like she was able to do with Gaston.
I love it.
I'm more of an Alice in Wonderland girl myself, but
Well, wouldn't you? Just so you know, Linda Wolverton had a part in that as well, and Alice,
absolutely masterfully done. So, so yeah, I don't think we have any more super chats. Do we want to wrap up final thoughts on this or anything? So we've been going for closing in on like an hour and a half. We're closing in on like an hour 40 now.
I'm down for final thoughts.
Yeah. Well, why don't we start off down there in the bottom right with Megs, and then we'll just go around.
I just think that it's awesome, like I said, that we finally have someone on our side that thinks the way that we all do about all this woke crap. And finally, there's someone that speaks a little bit about us, about these strong women, and how that blanket term gets used way too often, and how we need more actual stories with these strong women and all of that good stuff. So yeah, so thank you, Candace, for finding this awesome article. I agree with Mary, because we needed that information, and we needed to know of this Linda Wolverton lady. We needed that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
We needed her on our radar.
Miss Madeir.
It's really interesting to see someone who's there from the beginning. From what was it, 1970? Was that the year? But
I think 1990, but it's close. Yeah.
1990. Okay, I thought I heard the year 1973 somewhere.
Yeah.
But
1937 was the original, but yeah, no.
In the 1990s, for a woman to be in that role and to create those stories, and to be here now saying this strong woman stuff it's not right. This isn't how this is. This isn't how stories work. This isn't how you relate characters to the audience. It's women connect with characters that are like them. And you can't just magically make women these strong, almost manly types, but also somehow not equally feminine, and expect us to like it and call them strong female characters, and then say everyone's a sexist because they don't like them. Mm-hmm. That's not how stories work. Mm-hmm. And it's really, it's good that there's that voice is there.
Absolutely. And I'll give Candace the last word on her article here, just because I think I feel like, gosh, what you have to say has been so potent tonight. God, I freaking love you, Candace. But no, I would.
love you too.
I would reiterate what the girls have already said myself, and I would say that I'm proud and I'm honored to see a woman who recognizes the difference between a strong woman and an empowered woman. And I think that women should, in fact, seek to be empowered, where the internal strength of a person is far more important than whether or not they're able to walk up to a problem and just smash through it, right? Because you can have all of the strength in the world, but if your head is just a brick and you have no idea what you're doing, then you're not really very much good to anyone. And women do. I agree with Miss 100%. We don't identify with a woman who's standing there swinging a lightsaber like a baseball bat, right? Because that's not how we operate. Women do not function the same way as males. We function in our own unique way, and it's okay. These differences are okay. okay. We're allowed to have them, and to treat us as though there's something wrong with us for acknowledging the differences between masculinity and femininity is not our problem. It's yours. So let us be empowered, and don't try to knock us down a peg or two when we speak up and we say, but no, you're not right, because we're using our empowered feminine voices. And just because they don't happen to agree with yours doesn't mean we're wrong and you're right. It just means you're not listening to the women you wanted to empower so much. Candace. Sorry.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I'll say this. This lady is a savage, and here's why. The timing of this is impeccable. One of the biggest franchises that Disney sunk its hooks into in a long time is doing its final trailer of the final of this whole saga, okay? And she puts this article out right when this happens. I mean, yeah. She's brave, and I think that more women like her who have those kinds of opinions need to be able to have that same confidence and come forward with those, because they might be surprised at how many people like us believe in the same sorts of values and ideals. I relate this a lot to the women of the fandom, because up until maybe a few months back, you know, I'm a suburban housewife, and I don't fall in lockstep with a lot of people that believe certain things about all suburban housewives and what we like and what we don't like and who we are. And you know, being able to stumble upon a group like the Fandom Menace with lots of women who are able to voice their opinion in very, very smart ways, without bringing others around them down, rather boosting others up. It's so refreshing to see, and it's therapy for a lot of people like me who felt like they wanted to say something but didn't have the way or didn't know where to say it. Yeah, I feel like this Linda, she's our girl. She's our girl, and I'm down with that. I like it. I like knowing we've got a team member in the beast, so to speak.
Absolutely. I could not agree more. And I agree with you. God, she makes my heart flutter. And she freaking helped create Belle. Couldn't get any better than that.
Yeah. Amazing.
Couldn't get any better than that. So, Tom, you can come back now. Welcome back, Mr. Masculinity.
Hello. Hello.
I think we've run our course. I know we've been going for nearly 2 hours. So.
Yes.
Okay, you can.
Great show. Oh, nice.
You can join us in the whammon front. I'll get your card to you later.
Well, I either got to be a whammon or I'm just peanut gallery, one or the other. Like,
hey, just like giving us a lightsaber, you can't turn us into a man. A cheap blue wig and some lipstick isn't going to make you a woman, but it does make you beautiful.
Oh,
beautiful. Let's see. I do see one last super chat if you want to get to that before we.
Oh,
I know, but we can't go forever. Some of us have articles and videos we have to do for stuff, Tom.
Yeah, I know. Everybody's watching the council anyway. Where was that at? Do you remember who it was offhand?
Loquacious. It just came up. Loquacious Primate.
They need to really fix this thing on StreamYards to where. Okay, yeah, that's why it takes forever. It takes like 5 more seconds or more than it does on the other one. There you go.
$5 from Loquacious Primate. He says, a very good read is In a Different Voice by Carol Gilligan. It talks about the difference in moral development between men and women. Oh, I like that. I like that. Throwing some knowledge our way. Well, I will definitely, hold on. Very good. In a Different Voice.
I took a screenshot, Mary.
Oh, perfect. Well, I wrote it down now. But yeah, thanks so much for dropping the knowledge bomb on us, man. I'll be sure to try to check that out as soon as I can. So, Tom, I will hand the reins back over to you with all your masculinity.
Maybe. I got to think about it. Got a lot of offers. But I think it's that
Proving
time.
that the Fandom Menace.
I forgot to turn that off. I think it's about that time. Oh, wait. You guys got to
plug the channels.
We are. Yeah.
Plug the channels.
just get out of here, and you guys got shits you got to do. So let's start down there in the corner with Megs. Megs, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself and where they can find you?
I'm Megs, and I do the Meg Show where I review movies and trailers and TV shows and things of that nature. I also do the Jolly and Meg Show where I review things of that nature with my puppet brother Jolly. And then I also do this show, Toxic Fem, with Tom and the ladies, where we share our feminine opinions. Yep, and you can find me on my Meg's channel or on Twitter at Megan Bailey's. Yep, that's about it.
Oh, yeah. Go subscribe, guys.
Yay!
Geeky Candy.
Oh, hi.
About
Yeah,
yourself.
so thanks for having me. This is my first time on this channel, and
Welcome.
yeah, I really enjoyed myself. I felt like I was definitely among friends, and I really liked that. So yeah, my name is Candace, aka Geeky Candy, and you can find me on Twitter. I always do notifications of new videos that I post on my YouTube channel. And my channel right now, it's mostly article reviews. I have my Star Wars trailer reaction. It is different. It doesn't have like all the same opinions of other people. It's different. There's some things I do like, and I put them in there. Yeah, and it's going to probably evolve a little bit to some more live streaming things once I kind of get down a schedule. But yeah, please do subscribe and follow me on Twitter because I've got some really interesting stuff happening Friday. And I don't want to say it yet because I want it to be kind of a surprise. But Friday is going to be fun for me, and I would love to share. I can't wait to share it with you guys when it comes.
All right. Miss, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself?
Hi, I'm a sarcastic nerd, but you can call me Miss. I have a channel that's mostly Halloween oriented right now because it is Spooktober. I'm doing a playthrough of Dead Space. I'll be releasing episodes hopefully every day. And I'm also doing movie reviews at the same time, which is a handful. You can also follow me on Twitter if you feel like it. And by if you feel like it, I mean you should follow me on Twitter.
Do it now.
No.
Or else.
Very nice.
And,
Long Tom.
all right. Last but not least, in the very least,
Woohoo!
the mistress of ceremonies, the mistress of mayhem, Mary.
The healer of backgrounds. I'm just kidding.
Yes. I'm collecting them like Pokemons, guys.
I love it.
Yes, guys, I am Mary B. I am the mistress of mayhem, disruptor of the narrative, and official Whammon card holder, which I am going to get these out to all of my fellow female fandom menacers if it kills me, because there's actually more than you'd think. But yeah, guys, actually, I'd just like to plug my other ladies. Do go subscribe to their channels. Like, we have a really, really wonderful community here, and I love that we've got a lot of females running around in it and sort of pushing back on that narrative that this is just a boys' club, that it's just a bunch of incels running around. So take some time, go subscribe to their channels. They really do have wonderful content, and I'm happy to see them. And thanks to Candace for coming on and joining us, being my twinsy. So thank you for letting me have the background. I kind of like it.
Anytime, Schnuggums.
So go subscribe to these beautiful ladies. They are legitimately worth your time.
Yeah.
Absolutely, positively. So yes, do that. The links are in the description below if you haven't caught them in the chats yet. I want to thank all the ladies. I want to thank everybody out there in YouTube land. If it wasn't for you guys, we couldn't do this. Do check out our Patreon, our Subscribe Star, and we also have PayPal links down below as well if you want to just help us directly. Thank you so much once again for joining us here on Toxic Femininity.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.